What is going on, guys? Troublesome here, and I am back after a couple of day hiatus with another episode of Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. Today I've got a Bugatti Type 35, and this is a GollyWog mod. Now, this one says Replica, and I don't know if there are options, like if there's a real one. I got this at the auction house. It's in pretty good condition, but I did a little bit of research on this car, and it is really freaking cool. So before I get started, if you want to see more Car Mechanic Simulator 2018 videos, hit that subscribe button. Let's go.
No.
All right, so getting started on this car. 1927-ish is when this car came out. And actually, you know what? I'm going to move it back over here to the garage space real fast because I want to show you guys a little bit about this thing. This is a replica, which I don't know. There's a company called Pur Sang that makes these, and they make them just about as authentic as possible. It is crazy. This came out right around 1927. See, these are leather straps that hold the hood down. The shifter for the transmission's right here. It's a 4-speed transmission. All the brakes are cable driven, and this right here, this lever right here is actually the lever to pull the rear cable, the cable for the rear brakes. And I thought that was super neat. And then the front brakes are also cable driven. You can't see the pedal, but the pedal's down there, and it does front brakes only, and it's drums. And then let's get over here to the side. Right there, you see that wooden handle, and there it's on a pump. That's actually to pump oil into the sump, because evidently this car was powerful enough and handled, like, it cornered strongly enough that it would kind of drain its own oil pan over into the side. So you had to use that to pump it back down into the sump when you're driving it, which is cool. And I guess it also helped with, you know, cold starts and whatnot. This thing actually, the original had a straight 8 supercharged, and the supercharger was right down here. It actually, if you look at the real deal, I'll link to a video of a good Pur Sang replica. The supercharger looks like it's like an extension of the steering arm, even though I know it's not. And also, these didn't come with a cooling fan. The factory ones didn't. But Pur Sang did, they actually put a cooling fan, like an electric fan, on them to compensate, you know, because it's not going to be driving race car speeds all the time. Spoke wheels were, there were some with spoke wheels. All the ones I saw videos on, I saw a couple of replicas and an original. They had this weird looking thin 5-spoke, or no, it wasn't 5, it was like 7-spoke wheel or something. And I don't know if I can get anything like that. Of course, I will look. And I've got some frame drop here. My computer crashed a little bit ago. I'm a little bit worried about it. It locked up and just straight up crashed a minute ago. And that is out of character for it. And also, I played some Farming Simulator earlier. And I was getting all kinds of frame drop on that game too. And that never happened either. This was a crank start. The Pur Sang models of this this opens, by the way. The Pur Sang models actually come with an electric starter if you want to, want to have an electric starter. But the way that the builders talk, it sounds like you can pretty much get it as authentic or, modernized as possible. It looks like what GollyWog did here to make because this actually had one big bench seat. Well, it's not big, it's tiny, but it's had one bench all the way across. Looks like GollyWog used 2 of those, what are they called? The Typhoon seats right next to each other to emulate that. Some of these had 2 windshields. Some of them only had 1. Some of the street versions, I think, were equipped with headlights. This one's like a race version, is not. This little thing right here is actually where the spare tire sits. There's another strap that came over the top that held it in place, but that's like the cradle for the spare tire. I'm not sure what these levers are. I was watching it. I watched several videos on it and tried to learn as much as I could. And I never saw them talk about those levers right there. Everybody was always really more concerned about these. Now, if you watch any of these videos, I'll post, like I said, I'll post one. The engine sounds amazing. It's an inline 8, and it is just, I don't know, it's just crazy sounding. And what's super cool about this car is that the gear, you know, this is not practical, but the gears are all straight cut. They're not helical or bevel or anything like that. They're straight cut. So there's this very distinct growl the entire time it's running, or the entire time it's rolling. And when he lets, like when anybody that's driving one lets off the accelerator, you can hear the mesh, like it's called gear lash. You can hear the gears lashing back on themselves. Very rough, very grindy. It's kind of cool. I was mentioning before the straight 8 engine. You can get them. This Pur Sang company builds them with a standard type of bearing. I'm talking about standard type of main bearings in the engine. But actually they were originally built with roller bearings, which is, I guess you can only get about 5,000 miles out of a roller bearing engine. The journal style, you know, bearings are much, they last much longer. But these guys at Pur Sang said they'll build one with roller bearings if you want. If you want that authenticity, they'll do it. Ooh. There's some nice detail in here. I didn't even notice that. There's that oil pump. I'm not sure what these are, but these look like they're possibly the cables from the brake bar that goes across the center here, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm not sure what that is either. There's a valve there to shut off this T. Some great detail in here. Wow, I love it. I really love it. Very nice. Okay, back to the car. Back to the build. A leaf springs and a straight axle actually is how these things came. Now, because of the limitations of the game, GollyWog used the front axle out of a Jeep Willys four-wheel drive. These were not actually four-wheel drive. They just had this super thin beam axle that had a drop down on it and these really, really thin leaf springs on it. But these modders, they make some miracles out of what they got, out of what they're given to work with. Because I would have never thought that you could pull off a car like this on this game with these parts. But it has been done. Now this car, this Type 35 was actually a killer when it came to the racing circuits of its time, the Grand Prix type style, because I don't know why it was so exceptional, besides the fact that it was, you know, in an era where you had Model Ts going, you know, struggling to do, I don't know, what did Model Ts do, 20 miles an hour maybe? And this thing would go 100 miles an hour pretty easily. I don't know how they pulled off making tires like that. One thing really cool about this Pur Sang company is they build these, not only do they build them replica, you know, as closely replicated as they can visually, but also they mimic the building style of these from the 20s, the way that these were built. It's actually, you know, it's actually a bunch of oh crap. It's actually like a couple of barns out in the country in Argentina, I think is where they built them, or where they build them now, and they go for about $250,000, but like the panels are all hand formed on an English wheel, and they file the edges. They don't have electric grinders and stuff like that to smooth out the edges. They use actual files. So they actually mold their own tires in-house. It's crazy that those guys actually are doing that. So to be perfectly honest, $250K is a bargain, you know, considering the car and the heritage of it. Oh, that's a body part. Eee. It's very impressive. I'd like to see a factory tour. I'm going to look for a factory tour on the internet and see if I can find one where guys, you know, where they take a tour of this place. I don't know if they will or not, but it's a hand stitched leather. Argentina has some kind of weird import laws where they're not allowed to import certain things, I guess. So they can't import parts for it. So all the parts have to be made in house. Of course. Why didn't somebody text me and let me know that I forgot to take that out? Guys, if you're new to this channel, nothing's going to be different to you, but if you're... Oh my god. Frickin' frick. I'm going to get this son of a bitch out of here. Oh my god, the starter. Okay, now let's try that again. New to this channel, you know, nothing's going to look different. But if you're a one of the regulars, I'm going to be changing the formatting a little bit. I'm experimenting with some new video editing tools. Currently, I'm using Shotcut, and it's a super fast, super crude, super simple editing tool, and I love it, to be honest with you. And I like simple videos, and I don't know if I'm doing the right thing by straying away from, you know, simple crude videos, but I am, and I don't know. We're gonna see. I'm gonna do a little bit more fancy editing. This probably isn't going to have a whole lot of different editing in it because I'm still very, very green with all this editing stuff. I don't really want to pay money for a video editor because there are so many insanely good open source stuff out there, like Shotcut. It's a little crude, but it's very functional. It's super functional. And it's smooth running. And I've tried a few different open source video editors, and Shotcut really kind of got a special place in my heart because of its format. I'm a very simplistic kind of guy, and I don't like Flash. Not Adobe Flash. I don't like flashy stuff. So, you know what? I'm not going to have those seats anyway, am I? Oh my god. Forget about it. This is tough. This car has a lot of voids in it. So, see the... See, it's hard to even select the assembly. Oh my god. Never gonna get it. Okay, here we go. Gotta get somewhere. Okay, body. It's not responding. Oh my god, I can't get it.
3 weeks later.
Wow. That was difficult. Jeez us. Anyway, I'm not a fan of flashy stuff, and I don't know. I'm experimenting. I'm experimenting right now with my channel. Also, there's an intro song on this one that I picked up off the internet. Off of you know, some freebie website. Good lord. Off of some freebie, you know, download your intro here website, and the song might be licensed. I might get flagged, but the song reminds me of my younger years, and I like it, so I'm trying it. If not, I'll figure something else out. It's not a big deal if one of these gets flagged, you know, for copyright. I think it's only like a 7-second clip. So guys, if you get an opportunity, check out Pur Sang, Pur space Sang on the internet, and look at some of the work they're doing. They're not just doing this Bugatti Type 35. They do an Alfa Romeo of some sort from that era, and a few other, old cars. It's super cool. Let's see what tire this is. 135, 110, 19. That's crazy proportions. That is crazy proportions. Check them out if you're a car guy, and if you're fascinated by cars, you'll be super impressed by the craftsmanship of these rigs. Now the real car, I don't know. I mean, who knows? I don't even know how many are left. I'm sure they're worth $5 million or something a piece. So more and more unattainable. The price is just going up and up and up. And there are car guys out there that can afford 250 grand that want to go out and they just want to drive the piss out of it. And things like what Pur Sang is doing gives guys an opportunity to do that kind of stuff. So it's very cool. It's a very cool company doing very cool things. The word replica has kind of gotten tainted over the years by people putting 500 SL Mercedes body kits on a Chrysler LeBaron convertible, and oh god, I've seen some awful ones. There are some awful non-stretched Fiero adaptions for Lamborghini Countach that just look ridiculous. So replica sometimes it gets a bad name, and I'm not saying a replica has to be a perfect quote unquote replica. I'm not saying I'm not saying that. I would totally drive a Fiero based Countach and own one if it was stretched and proportioned properly. That's just me. Even if it did just have a 3.8 liter V6 or whatever from GM. No, I refer to those more as kit cars, and something like this I refer to more as a replica because it is a replica. I mean, there are companies building Lamborghini Countach on space frame, tubular space frame with just about everything as real as you can get, and those are replicas. My 2 cents. Getting down to the tires. Getting close. Now, obviously, this is something that I'm not going to ruin with my big wheel selection that I like to do on these kind of on cars on here, period. I like to scale up wheels and just do silly stuff like that to make cars, I don't know, just to make them more my flavor. But something like this, man, the only thing I would do is make the tires skinnier because I think they actually were skinnier, but that might be as skinny as they get. But if you look at some of the video, like, okay, if you look at the tires on the video link that I will put in the description of this, they are freaking skinny. There's also a very interesting tilt to the front wheels. Normally you think of race cars as having some negative camber, which is where the bottom of the wheel sticks out further than the top. But these are the opposite. These are actually positively cambered where what's missing? Why is that wheel not coming up? Oh, it's this thing that I always miss. Anyway, these things are positively cambered to where the bottom of the wheels is closer to the center of the car than the top of the tire. I hope that makes sense. That sounded a little bit ridiculous and rambly. Okay, I think that's all of the chassis. Now, I'm just gonna unmount these and repair them. See what kind of tire he used. Season X. Adam. I don't know what that is. Well, I'll go over there and look here after I get these dismounted. Okay, I'm gonna fix these rims. Hopefully I can get them all. Good. Good. Now I gotta buy tires. Oh man, I can't do it. All right, guys, if you look here, this is a 135, 110, 19. And what I want to buy, I believe this is the one he used, 19. I can't go any lower than 135. And I can't go... See, I can't go that high profile either. So I'm going to have to use the old tires. Ain't that a bitch. I even have the unrealistic tire size thing checked. 135, 110. Dang it. That kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. I don't know what the way around that is. Anybody got any ideas? Post a comment. Let me know what the way around that is. And I'll do it. Because I have the unrealistic tire size thing checked in the menu. And I can do like super wide, super huge. But I've never tried to go super skinny, super tall. Well, that is depressing. So I'm gonna just do what I can with what I've got. Oh, such a sad day. Such a sad day that I can't get these thingies as I want. Alright, that is the last one. I'm gonna put these on. And I'm going to paint it Bugatti blue. I didn't even look for the other tire because it's probably not worth it because I'm 99% sure I'm not going to be able to find a rim that is like the one that came on it. Oh. Hey, let me go grab that other one. Where is it? Let's go. Okay, well, we got a couple of boogers out the side of the tire. You know, it's not perfect. I need to put some interior. Okay, I think it had Typhoon wheels in it. But actually, what I'm going to try here is to put... Which ones did he have? Oh, he did have standard low back in it. That's good. Because I wanted to use this one. Because the ones that I saw had tan leather in them. Yes. Love it, love it, love it. And that looks amazing with that blue, Bugatti blue color. That green is horrendous. Okay, Bugatti blue. Pretty bright. What do you guys think? Think that's about right for Bugatti blue? I think it is. I think it is pretty close. Oh man, that is gorgeous. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Man, that looks amazing. I am going to rebuild this off camera. I will be back. I think I got it. Okay. Okay, exhaust manifold goes on after the downpipe that goes on it. I can't do it now. Can't do the transmission, or can't do the starter until the transmission's done. So that's what we're gonna do now. Finish up the underneath bits. Okay. Okay, now drive shaft. Okay. Now, starter and exhaust manifold. Yeah, buddy. And this one. Radiator. Almost forgot the radiator. And cram that in the cram hole, and that's it. Feast your eyes, boys, in the I'm going to say 27-ish, Bugatti Type 35 by GollyWog. It is a beautiful piece of history. Hey, if you like this video, guys, hit that like button. It helps me out a bunch. If you're new, subscribe. Drop new content several times a week. Having said that, guys, as always, I appreciate you hanging out with me one more time, and I will catch you guys next time.